Bulaga, there's two things that came out tonight when I watched it and over the last 2 weeks. One, they need to go better. They better go find a running back that can really be a number one. And then Aaron Jones can come in and Jamal Williams, and they'll have a good stable. They need a premier running back in this offense, period. That's one. Two, if Bulaga's injury is any significant, they need to go find another offensive lineman. They better go find one. Because I watched Alex Light get his ass kicked over and over, play after play. It looked like Jason Spriggs out there.
We could bounce Turner to right tackle and put Madison at right guard.
Yeah, I'm curious how they're going to end up playing that for next week.
My thing is, does Dexter Williams is obviously going to come up. There's what Jay and I have been saying along with you, Ryan. Does Dexter finally get his chance to show out, or does Aaron Jones still get the carries?
That's totally going to be on Dexter to actually know what he's doing out there in the playbook. That's the thing I think that
his own scheme runner. And that's what the floor is. I mean, if that's what it takes, then God, I hated that injury to Williams because he's such an underrated value to the offense.
Yeah, that was scary. That was a scary moment, actually, because he was literally, just limp and knocked out.
He was in the fetal position, literally.
Yeah, that was scary, for sure. And, that absolutely did change everything, because I think that he was going to be a big part of this offense tonight. And once they had to take him out, that offense had to change quick. And like you said, Jay, that game plan tonight got completely changed then. We're doing things that
right before halftime. They went straight to Rodgers, do your thing, and it just stayed that way.
Don't get me wrong, though. Rodgers was locked in. You saw.
He was in that zone.
Yeah, he was in that zone. So when he's playing like that,
there was
fine,
moments when the game was on the ropes when it was still close here at the end, just like that last with that interception. First of all, that's a turnover. How the hell are they not reviewing it with DPI? And second of all,
DB got there early.
Yeah, that's exactly why the rule was put in. And I'm not saying they should have or shouldn't have called it. They didn't even review it.
The officiating was horrible tonight. Remember the pass interference challenge that we should have won?
Yeah,
I'm sorry, they were horrible across the board.
If they didn't overturn those other two, they weren't overturning that one.
It was so one-sided, though, really, because they missed so many calls, and they didn't. And then it just got this. This is exactly what the problem is. Is these referees? It's across the league, week after week. They've got too many judgment things that you're never going to be consistent on.
Yeah, not when it's bang bang all the time. It's such a fast play, and to be able to make those calls live when they're judgment calls, like you said, because the rules have made it that way. It would be hard to be a ref, but they're also not doing the best job. Especially why have replay if
you're not going to
use it, and you can't even the obvious one, and you're still not going to change it. Why? Why even have it then?
Even when the ex-referee officiating guy, Mike Pereira's on there oh, yeah, you definitely got to overchange. And then he's bitching at the fact that they didn't overchange it. Well, that's pretty much the textbook reason we have this replay, because that's obvious. It's it's you know what it goes down to with me, and I know other fan bases are gonna agree. This replay shit, to me, is the same concept as the safety thing. It's all just surface bullshit. Oh, well, they called it. We're not going to admit we're wrong. So, unless it's, there's certain ones we'll do, but some of them, and we don't care. Half the time I wonder if they're really even reviewing it, or if they just, flip a coin in the freaking thing, be it's overturned. Nope, that one stays. They don't really make any sense.
Yeah, you really do question what they're actually looking at. I couldn't believe that. The one that to me was blatantly obvious. Everybody knew it was pass interference. Should have been called.
That was hugging MBS.
That was bad.
But we wouldn't need the refs' calls if the defense would have, woke the hell up. Honestly, I am honestly putting 95% of this defensive performance on the defensive scheme that was put in this week and the personnel packages. Because I know when we go back and watch tape, we're going to see a hell of a lot of 95, 51, 25, and guys where's Josh Jackson on the field when he has played and showed over the last couple weeks he can do the job that these other guys can't? When is Kingsley Keke, big boy, going to get on the field instead of stupid Tyler Lancaster, who's too fat and slow to run on any stretch plays, or when the quarterback gets out of the pocket and he's 2 yards away, he can't even dive because he's so unathletic to get the quarterback down and lets him go? Or Redmond on the field instead of Jackson, who clearly has no idea ever what he's doing at any point on the field when he's on. Just wandering around like a lost man on the field. And that's on the coaching staff. And I can understand certain things, but it's continuous. Drive after drive, score after score. I'm seeing the same numbers giving up the plays. Same guys, same packages, same personnel giving up the plays and getting gashed. It makes no sense. These guys are smarter than I am. I know they are.
No, that was all on the coaching staff, in my mind. That when those two staffs sat down and got ready for this game, the Eagles won it. They put together a plan.
They punched us in the mouth.
They knew this is exactly how to attack this defense, and this is what we're going to do, and they executed it, and we had no answers. And just when we thought we had it, then when we tried to kind of adjust and change it up, they were ready for it. And the tight ends just killed us then. And it was so frustrating to watch because, this defense was so good the first 3 weeks. But then it's all right, well, they didn't have any, good quarterbacks that they're playing against. Carson Wentz obviously is way better of a quarterback than any of the first three that we faced. But again, it wasn't like Wentz was making out of his mind plays. It was just schemed so well, and the holes on the run plays were ridiculous. And we have these packages where we're playing with only one linebacker most of the time, so they're just going to continue to run at us. And then they would just get the tight ends out there, and they got two pretty good tight ends. And we hadn't faced a team like that yet either, that has two good tight ends like that. It just, they were just one step ahead all night. And, hats off to them. They did a really good job in my mind. I mean, Peterson knows that they know how to game plan. They know how to put together offensive scripts and do the same thing that LaFleur can do, or that he's shown that he has the ability to do. It's just tonight, Pettin, I love Mike Pettin, but he didn't have it.
Yeah, it seems like Peterson was always 2 steps ahead, and getting those tight end matchups with Goddard and Ertz, especially. And the thing is, Amos, I see he's playing a lot of that inside linebacker hybrid role next to Martinez a lot. Why? In my opinion, why didn't we have him back up where Redmond was and covering the tight ends? I feel like we should have had him more on the tight end.
There. It's hard because you're watching so much during these, and we haven't had a chance to go back and rewatch it, to really, dial in on specifics. But I saw him on a couple times on tight ends, but it's hard to say. I need to rewatch it again to really know what I saw.
Can I say
getting
for me,
Ibrahim Campbell back soon, hopefully, or Oren Burks, hopefully helps that a little bit in the future. But in the meantime, I mean, we got to figure something out if the team's going to have 2 tight ends and they can run the ball, because whatever we were trying to do tonight absolutely did not work.
I will say this for me. This is one of those weeks. If I'm a player, I refuse to watch the tape. because it's like offensively and defensively. Like to me, it's like, nah, you guys got to come up with a better game plan. Like, cause this shit ain't our offense that we're supposed to be running. This isn't the defense and the personnel that we've been. Like that defense and that offense, personnel and the way it was all run tonight was not what I watched the first 3 weeks. There was no remnants of this new era at all when I was watching this game at any point after the Jamal Williams injury. It was just shit. It was like, it was hard taking notes. I kicked myself off of Twitter. Like, to me, there's just no point in watching this because it just, to me, it's like watching 2018 tape, essentially. It's crap. Butt kiss.
It doesn't help either that during this game, we lost some key players that moving forward, I'm a little worried about having available for next week as well. So we've got Devontae Adams with the toe injury that did not look good. If you rewatch it, I mean, he went down and grabbed his right toe immediately after he got tackled. It didn't look good. And the way that he was on the sideline hobbling, that's definitely going to be a pretty bad, I'm guessing, sprain, which basically turf toe, which that can linger for a while. And a player like him, with his footwork, he needs to be able to use that and plant off those feet and those toes, and that's not going to be good moving forward. I'd be surprised. I mean, if he plays next week, I mean, the fact that you have some extra days to rest, but I don't know, man. I'd be surprised if he might give it a go. They might shoot some painkillers in there, but. And then Brian Bulaga with the shoulder didn't return. Again, another big loss. He's been playing lights out to start this season. And now, like you said, we got to replace him we had Alex Light out there, and he's not Brian Bulaga. So I'm not sure what they're going to do about that moving forward. I'm curious how bad of an injury that's going to be. But the fact that, they didn't even let him sniff the field after he came out is not a good sign. And then obviously the big one, Jamal Williams, that was scary. I just hope he's okay. It sounds like, from what I heard the reports, though, that he had full feeling in all of his extremities and everything like that. So
they're probably doing X-rays and MRIs on his neck, is what I'm assuming. Make sure everything was okay.
Yeah. But so prayers up to him, and hopefully he will get back on the field sooner than later. And then the other one that I had was Kevin King with the groin injury. He didn't return. And so he was playing actually really well. He had a really good game for the most part tonight. And so to lose him, obviously that's, going into a game next week where they've got a couple wide receivers. We're going to need all the defensive backs that we can healthy. And depending on how bad that groin injury is, I'm not sure how he's going to be. So do you guys have any other injuries? I'm not sure if there's other ones.
I thought I saw Tony Brown with a hamstring injury too.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Tony Brown, hamstring, he did not return. He was ruled out. So there's another defensive back. So right there, boom.
Kadar Holman might get his chance.
Yeah, he might get his chance next week. Those are two higher-end cornerbacks in this defense. So I don't know if there are any other injuries. Did you guys see anything else?
I mean, injury-wise, I don't know. I didn't see anything. I'm just still bothered by the fact of why are you paying a tight end who's supposed to be good in the red zone who can't come down with red zone catches. I can't get off it.
But yeah, the other ones obviously he couldn't come down with the big ones. He made the wide open one. That was on Rodgers just putting a dime out there. That was a great throw on the run. But yeah, in the clutch moments, man, the ones where he's got to have them, it just didn't happen.
Also, too, the defense finally got noticed about having a really good week against Denver, and just there was no pressure at all tonight. Like, Zadarius, Preston, Gary, Kenny Clark. I saw maybe a couple guys get around once, but there was no sacks, not one.
Yeah, I mean, people were talking that was probably going to be the best offensive line that we've faced, this year. I would agree. I mean, they definitely played like it. That's for sure. Yeah, you didn't hear Kenny Clark